G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. Time for another cocktail. This is one, there's no real theme to this. I just was browsing through various websites this week and happened across this one, and I really liked the sound of the ingredients. I'd not seen this cocktail before, and I've not seen one with really this combination of ingredients. Caught my eye. It's called, I found it on the Difford's website, it was called Eastern Sin, and I just thought, sounds like there's some weird sort of at least mildly racist connotation on it. And I found out, where was it from? It was from W.J. Tarling's 1937 Cafe Royale cocktail book, and I'm like, yeah, 1930s, there was probably something racist going on with the naming of this. But I thought, well, let's just roll with it. And also because there's nothing Eastern in the ingredients, so I don't quite get it. So I'm just gonna push my misgivings aside for a moment and make what looks like an interesting cocktail to me. So with that somewhat dubious introduction, let's have some Eastern Sin. The first ingredient is 1 ounce of Scotch whiskey, and the recipe actually suggested an aged Scotch whiskey. From this little box of sample bottles I've got an 18-year-old Johnny Walker. That's fairly aged. I should go. Yep, that smells like Scotch to me. And possibly real Scotch aficionados are mortified that I'm using this in a cocktail, but I don't really drink Scotch neat. I just make cocktails. So I'm going to do a 1 ounce for 30 mils of Scotch whiskey. We're also doing 1 ounce or 30 mils of cherry brandy. There are a lot of variations of cherry brandy around the world, different brands, things like Cherry Hearing and some others. I've got a fairly generic cherry brandy, so I will be adding 30 mils, 1 ounce of cherry brandy. The recipe also calls for half an ounce or 15 mils of orange liqueur. Just use whatever orange liqueur you have or what your favorite may be, whether it be a triple sec, a Cointreau or Curacao. I'm using my favorite, the Marionette Dry Curacao. It's made locally here in Melbourne. We'll just add half an ounce, 15 mils of orange liqueur. There's quite a few ingredients in this cocktail. Next up we have half an ounce of red sweet vermouth. I'm using another Australian product. This one's from South Australia, the Unico Zello Yuzu vermouth. You can see I quickly like this because it's almost gone. I'll have to get a replacement for this soon. But right now, 15 mils, 15 mils or half an ounce of sweet vermouth. That's it for the alcoholic content, but we're also going to add a 1/4 of an ounce, 7.5 mils of pineapple juice. My standard disclaimer, like, yep, if you can do fresh pressed orange juice, go for it. You have kitchen utensils, I don't. I have some 100% no added sugar in a can, and I'm not ashamed. I'm just going to add 1/4 of an ounce, 7.5 mils of pineapple juice. And last to go in, we're just going to do 1 dash of Angostura bitters, and then we're ready to shake. We add ice to our shaker, put it together, bang it in hard, shake it for about 10 seconds. Now I'm going to strain this into a chilled glass. I'm using a Angostura glass. Nice wash line, putting that neatly. It's a very rich colour coming from the sweet vermouth and the cherry brandy. And let's go on the nose. It's a very, very light sort of aroma. It's very nice. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, that's good. Oh, and the scotch comes in at the end. The sort of fruit elements in the brandy could make it too sweet, but the scotch actually comes through in the end as a balance. Oh, this is quite nice actually. The pineapple juice was a really interesting touch. Like, there's no sugar syrup in this, so the pineapple juice adds a bit of sharpness and a bit of sweetness in there. But all up, when I saw this, the combination of ingredients I found unusual. I'd not really seen anything like it. I mean, it's got elements of a few different drinks in there, like, you know, whiskey and vermouth is a Manhattan, but it also has the orange curacao and the cherry brandy. So there's a whole range of fruit flavors in here coming from different sources. But the whiskey does a good job of not letting those sweeter, fruity elements dominate it. You do get that first, and then the scotch comes through. Yeah, this is a really interesting drink. It really goes through a spectrum of flavors as you drink it, which is something I really like in a cocktail. Something that's not a single note that actually changes as you drink it. So, as an experiment, I'm really quite glad with how this worked out. And if you're a fan of the boozier side of cocktails, because there is not much in here that isn't booze, I have to admit I am a fan of the boozier style cocktails, and quite like this one. I have no idea what motivated someone in the 30s to call this an Eastern sin, but the combination is actually quite good. And yeah, I definitely recommend you try this. And yeah, let me know if this actually does appeal to you. And hey, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it would be great if you did. Click the notification bell so you know when I upload videos, because I try to explore quite a range from classics to less well known to modern twists, and occasionally do my own versions or try to invent drinks as well. It's all an adventure as far as I'm concerned. And I'd love to have you along with me on the adventure. So I do hope to see you again soon. In the meantime, you take care of yourself, take care of people around you, and until I see you again, cheers.